My name is Anna Farrus, and I'm the Director of Recruitment and Admissions for the MBA at IMD. I joined IMD 3 years ago, and I've been in this industry for over 20 years now. So in different schools in Europe, and basically I'm responsible for to ensure that we have the right candidates in the MBA program, and that we have a class that is actually going to grow together and develop together. I've been in this industry for many years, and in admissions mainly. So I do love it actually, and I love the fact that we change people's lives. We help people develop themselves and achieve goals that sometimes they didn't even think that they could achieve. And for me, that's very rewarding. Working with people from all over the world, different cultures, different points of view. It is exciting. It is inspiring, and it makes me want to wake up every morning very excited to go to work. Actually, so yes, I do love it. We really pay attention to the candidates that we admit into the program. We want to get to know every candidate very well, because we want to make sure that not only they are going to grow, but that they are also going to help others in the class grow. And so that is very, very important for us. We don't select people just because they have great CVs. We sometimes have to make difficult decisions, and if that person we don't think is going to fit well with the rest of the class, then we're not going to admit them. And in other cases, sometimes we have somebody whose CV, whose GMAT, whose academic background is not that great, but then we think that they have something that they can bring into the program that is going to be beneficial for the rest of the class, and then we will accept them. So admissions is very important to really get to know candidates very, very well, and make sure that they are part of this big puzzle that makes sense. I always say the first person that we meet into the program is the easiest one, because that's the kind of the first. There are no other candidates or MBAs in the classroom yet. The second one is going to be a bit more difficult, because we also want to ensure that we have different profiles and different skills represented. And so when we are at this point where most of the class is filled, we have to really look into the different candidates applying and ensuring that they are not already represented in the class, and that they are going to bring something interesting for the others to learn. We look for collaborative MBAs, absolutely, among other things, obviously. And we have a very specific way to assess the candidates. We don't only do one-to-one interviews, admissions interviews. We also do what we call an assessment day, which is a full day of activities where the candidates will have to participate in different exercises. Some of them will be individual exercises, like an impromptu presentation, the one-to-one interview, of course, and then some of them will be team exercises from a case study. They will have to read and discuss a case and present the conclusions. And then there's another team exercise that I'm not gonna share a lot. That remains. We try to keep it as a surprise, but it's an exercise where collaboration is very important. These exercises cannot be solved actually if there's no collaboration in the team. And so one of the aspects that we looked at is how the candidates collaborate with each other, keeping in mind that they don't know each other. They're from different cultures, different countries. The majority of them, English is not their main language, and so how they communicate with each other. And actually, the last year and a half, we have added the Zoom component to all of this. We've done all of these exercises online, and that has added some challenges as well. But I think also that's the way the world is moving forward, and having a lot of more this online teamwork is what's going to be the norm, I think, moving forward. And so, being able to do it for the assessment day is important, and we look into it as well. We don't invite everyone to the assessment day, but we invite quite a high percentage, actually. I would say about 60 to 70% of our candidates. So it's quite a high percentage. And from that, I would say that maybe around, again, 60 to 70% are going to be invited or made an offer. But it varies from assessment day to assessment day. The assessment days, generally, we have about 6 to 8 candidates in the assessment day. So a lot of assessment days throughout the year. Tomorrow we have the first assessment day of our September deadline. So exciting. So we have around 600 plus applications, and we now are admitting around, we have a class of around 100 and 110 candidates. We're increasing the class size a bit, and we hope that in maybe 4 or 5 years we're gonna achieve a class of 140 or 150 more or less. So we'll see. But again, it depends on the quality of the candidates. It's competitive. It's not necessarily easy to get admitted. But as a colleague of mine always says, if you don't try, for sure you will never get admitted. So you do have to try. The MBA that we have is unique in the sense that we consider it to be a leadership development program, and probably the longest leadership development program in the world. But we also happen to teach everything that you need to be able to get an MBA. So all of the toolkits that an MBA will give you, we also teach. However, the leadership component is really what makes us very, very unique. We really think, especially in this kind of challenging environment that we're living at the moment, that we really need to be able to help develop reflective and responsible leaders. We are an extremely experiential program. About 40% of our program is experiential, from the startup project, Discovery Expedition, which is a trip that we try to do around the world when it's possible and the pandemic allows it. And then we also have the International Consulting Project, which is a program where our candidates, where our MBAs work with companies from all over the world in a consulting basis to help them solve certain problems. This happens at the end of the program, pretty much. It's starting now, actually, for the current class. And it's an opportunity for the MBAs to really use all of the knowledge that they have acquired during the year into the real world, and help companies from all over the world to really solve different problems in a more strategic level. The objective is not necessarily to find a job through those consulting projects, but sometimes it does happen, and some of our MBAs have been able to get jobs through those. We are interested in potential. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you have had to lead projects or lead people. If you have, great. But if you haven't, demonstrate throughout the application form, the CV, the essay, the kind of experiences that you think could make you a good leader, the kind of leader that we're looking for. I mentioned before, we want to develop this reflective and responsible leader. So try to find examples that showcase those kind of skills. As I said before, with assessment day also, we will try to see, how people lead others in all of these exercises, their level of assertiveness, their level of self-awareness. That's so important for us. Any leader that is not self-aware is very difficult to lead other people, and so self-awareness is very important for us. How you listen, I think the listening skills are very undervalued when it comes to leadership, but being a very good listener is very, very important. And so, being able to demonstrate that in the assessment day will also be very important. So I think, again, it's not about, I've had 10 years of leadership experience. If you had, again, great. But if you haven't, then, demonstrate that you have at least the potential to become a great leader. So of course we reject, a number of candidates every year, and sometimes it can be because the profile doesn't really fit in the class that we've already put together. Sometimes, their GMAT scores are not great. So, we always recommend, if your GMAT score is not close to our average, try to improve it. Sometimes it's lack of experience. We need to see more work experience. So trying to increase that work experience, it's helpful. Every year we have reapplicants, and that's perfectly fine. Being a reapplicant will not go against you. What I want to see, though, in that year or 2 years from the first application to the second application is, what has changed and what has improved. And we have had reapplicants that have been admitted after the second application, so it's not impossible at all. I wouldn't say that it's something that you should worry about. If you think IMD is the right place for you and you've not been successful the first time, by all means try it again with some improvements, and hopefully there will be more luck the second time. The most important aspect that we're looking for in a candidate is to have an open mind, to be able to work and interact with people from different points of view, different cultures, different backgrounds that have different points of view, and accept sometimes that what you think is not necessarily what everybody else thinks, and to sometimes change your mind. I think being open-minded and being aware that the world is much bigger than yourself is very, very important. So I think that open-minded kind of attitude is what is the one skill, or the one, it's not a skill really, the one attitude or the one mindset that we want really. The one thing that I haven't mentioned is the personal approach, and it's a very personalized approach throughout the life really of the MBA, from the admissions process. As I said before, we try to get to know every candidate very, very well through the application form, the assessment days, and so on. And then once they are on campus and they are doing their MBA, really the level of personalized attention that they receive, not only from the faculty but also from the staff, from our career development center, is incredible. We know every one of our MBAs by name. We know sometimes way too much, but and they know us as well, and I think that makes the experience that they have at IMD very unique compared to other much bigger schools. Or, just because of the kind of numbers that they have, it's very difficult to have that personal interaction with all of the MBAs, and I think that's very unique. Our MBAs cannot hide in the auditoriums. They have to be present. So that's also that we look for somebody who wants to be there and who is not afraid to being in the kind of center of it all. Being yourself is the best thing to do. We're trying to get to know each one of you very, very well, and so being yourself is the best way of doing that.